Sup everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Itto banner and why I think that this is going to be the most tragic banner in the history of all banners. And it's not due to the fact that Itto is weak, undesirable, or bad. I just think that due to unfortunate circumstances, someone had to take this position, and whoever is going to be with Kazuha in the coming patch or the one after that, both of them are going to be extremely tragic. Although I do think right now with the Itto banner, it's going to perform even worse than potentially what's coming up next, because with how Itto is structured as a character and how his requirements to build one of his best teams, it is so niche that almost feels difficult to promote and push this character to general free-to-players or low spenders unless you are a 100% devoted Itto enthusiast. I don't ever want to say a character is going to get shafted, but this banner is likely going to perform extremely poorly due to, I guess at this point, nobody can even deny the fact that Kazuha is coming back likely next patch, if worst case scenario, maybe the patch after that. But I think Sumeru is really right around the corner, 2 patches away, maybe 3. I don't think it's going to be more than 2 patches away. So with Kazuha likely making a return next patch, I think in the beginning, most people are at the very least going to hold off on pulling on this banner until the live stream, which will be happening towards the latter half of the banner, where we get concrete information as to exactly when Kazuha is going to be coming back. Now, the other thing is, regardless whether Kazuha is next banner or Azuka or whoever, Itto as a character is always going to be a little more difficult to recommend people, especially since he is an on-field, essentially hyper carry unit. And as we see, Hoyoverse did make this banner a little more beneficial to Itto, of course, by putting his signature support, Goro, on the banner, along with a new character, Kuki Shinobu. However, I don't think that's going to make anyone feel any better if their goal is to pick up Kazuha. So understand that Itto is a strong character, but Kazuha is not only strong but extremely versatile and opens up the possibility to many teams. So another thing that I've noticed through the many months that I've been doing account reviews is that many people have Raiden Shogun. I mean, just looking at the sheer number of account, I think probably have done, give or take, 30-40 account reviews over the last half a year or so, and I would like to say over 20, maybe like closer to 25 people have Raiden, but around 3 to 4 of the accounts had Kazuha. And you guys all know how good of a character Kazuha is to simply pair with Raiden, let alone all the other options such as Ayaka and now even Yellen Xingqiu teams. He's an amazing character that just makes any elemental team's ceiling just blow the lid off the roof. So it's going to be no surprise that everyone's going to be flocking to Kazuha's banner, especially if you guys look at the graphs, which of course is an estimate, but how many people ended up skipping Kazuha? And I think many people nowadays would still come back to content creators and say, you guys really undervalued Kazuha during his initial release, and that is why so many people ended up skipping him. If you guys look back during Kazuha's initial release, there's a lot of people who said, well, if you had a Venti or if you had a well-built Sucrose, there's really little use for a Kazuha in your team, and he's going to be more of a luxury unit. Yes, that was during a time when the mobs in Abyss were still a bunch of little pillar churls running around, or a bunch of little slimes and stuff where you can easily suck into a vortex. That was way before the era when you would get like giant mid-churls, boss monsters in the chambers, right? Uncc'able, unsuckable units like the Abyss Heralds. And with what's going on nowadays, Kazuha is almost an irreplaceable unit in many Abyss iterations if you want to ooze out more damage from your team to get that juicy 36-star clear. While Itto is capable of doing that, understand that this character requires more than just Goro. Oftentimes, if you have Goro, ideally you want to run a triple Geo team, essentially making it a mono Geo team, which also would demand at times Bennett as well if you want to increase the ceiling of Itto's damage capabilities. Of course, you can easily run a 4 Geo team, but in that case, likely your Goro is going to need C4, which not many people are going to be able able to get, and that is just too much resource to dump into one character to make him successful. For reference, I had the pleasure and the displeasure of polling for a viewer who wanted C6 Toma. Now take a wild guess at how much money we had to drop in order to seize that C6. Granted, yes, C6 is different from C4, but nonetheless, just take a wild guess. $800 US. Granted, we did get slightly unlucky here and there, but nonetheless, $800 just to pull a support unit. Come on, people. It's getting to the point where do I really need to be explaining myself when I say sometimes it's really just not viable to pull for a 4-star to make a 5-star work? Sure, maybe over multiple patches and as a byproduct even, but never ever should you, or even small spenders or whales, should be targeting a specific 4-star support just to make their 5-star character work. And talking about Kuki, we still don't know what she's fully capable of, and being a 4-star, it's safe to assume she's gonna be like the other 4-stars released. If you don't have C1, C2, or maybe C4, she's gonna feel inadequate at best, which is truly the trend of recent 4-star releases. I don't think I am making any bold claims in saying that. Although she does fill a very much appreciated niche in the role of an electro healer, I don't think anybody is losing any sleep in the lack of an electro healer, a 4-star electro healer that is in their rosters. So at the end of the day, really, what does this banner offer? This banner offers people who already have Itto and want that C1, C2, or people who don't have Itto, love him to death, and want to build a mono geo Itto hyper carry team, which is highly preferential. I wouldn't be surprised if this banner is the worst performing banner ever, period. I think with Kazuha coming next patch and how niche of a unit sometimes hyper carries can be depending on their personalities, their damage ceiling, and also just general levels of hype, that Itto banner likely will have people who want him really bad pulling for him, but apart from that, people are going to be skipping this so bad, and there even people who really want him likely will be forced to skip him because they just want or need Kazuha more. And these people, you quickly see the effect of how Hoyoverse's business model works. It doesn't matter how much you want a character or how much you love a character, but when the timings don't align, when two characters that you both love and want are really close to each other, there is little you can do to overcome this difficult decision without busting out your wallet. Moving on to the weapon banner, there's little to say about this truly. We got the sacrificial fragments, we got the stringless bow, the red horn stone thresher, and memory of dust. The spear and the greatsword, I don't really want to touch on it. They're decent, and of course the lion's roar. These are decent weapons, but for the most case, very niche. So even if you did end up getting them, I don't think it's going to change your account in any way, shape, or form. I'll be honest with you guys, this is going to be one of those weapon banners that's also a dud. I think Hoyoverse is very generous in a way to give us the very easy decision to make when it comes to skipping a character such as Itto, Goro, because it's very personalized along with his weapon. Sure, it's a great stat stick, but no one's going to be like, damn, you know, I really missed out on a huge opportunity here by skipping the red horn weapon along with the memory of dust. I don't mean to be out here shafting Itto mains and saying, you know, he's not worth it. I'm just saying enjoy who you enjoy. Same for the people who want Itto and like, I'm not getting Kazuha. I'll skip Kazuha any day to get Itto. Yes, skip Kazuha, enjoy who you enjoy, but for the most part, especially beginning players who are like, oh man, I really need someone to carry my damage, understand if you are a meta driven player, like, you know yourself the best, right? For the past games that you've played, do you like to look up guides? Do you like to follow the meta? Do you like to clear the content? Do you like to min-max your characters? If all the answers are yes to those questions, likely Itto is not going to be a smart pickup for you, because judging from the type of person you are, you probably want to maximize the potential of the strongest characters in the game, while Itto being definitely strong, but it's unlikely that you, especially as a low spender, it will be able to unlock his full potential. However, speaking, Kazuha, even with just one single copy, can unlock the ceilings to many other teams. On the top of my head, there's just 3 that I mentioned before, probably 5, 6 teams even. Just know that this video, the purpose is not to tell you, oh, which one is better. I'm trying to tell you guys the thought process behind Hoyoverse's placement of these banners and how it affects the psyche of the player base. I do think for the most part, you guys are going to be making the right choice. It's very difficult nowadays to screw up your banner decisions with how much people preach to wait for the live stream, to understand what you're getting into, do your research before building a character, and not pull the character and then do the research. Sure, you might get lucky here and there, but it's very expensive to build up these characters. Farming artifacts alone can take weeks if not months if you're unlucky, and most of them have 4-star characters that you also need to build up, not just for levels and talents but also their constellations. With all that said, thank you guys so much. I wish you guys all the best of luck as Kazuha approaches. I know he's going to shoot to the stars when it comes to banner, so it might even be the best banner we get to date, beating out Raiden Shogun, beating out Ayaka in total sales revenues because of how many people that skipped them a year ago. Now I'm going to probably be making a video in the future talking about whether or not Kazuha is a little overhyped and the FOMO is driving up a little too strong here. Alright, with all that said, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, urge y'all to stay safe and peace. Bye.